The complete story of Noah's Ark as you've never seen before. The story of Noah's Ark has sailed through centuries, capturing the imagination of millions worldwide. Whether you're a devout believer, a history buff, or simply curious, the tale of a righteous man building a colossal boat to survive a world-engulfing flood has been passed down from generation to generation. It's one of those stories that never fails to spark curiosity. But in 2025, the search for the truth behind Noah's Ark remains an ongoing journey as archaeology, geology, and modern science continue to explore its possibilities. What makes this ancient tale so enduring? Why has it captured the attention of explorers, scientists, and even filmmakers? Let's dive the video into the real story of Noah's Ark, separating myth from fact as we search for the truth in the annals of history. The biblical story of Noah's Ark. The tale of Noah's Ark comes from the book of Genesis in the Bible, a key religious text for Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike. According to Genesis 6-9, God saw the wickedness of humanity and decided to send a great flood to cleanse the earth. But Noah, a righteous man, was spared. God commanded him to build an ark, a massive vessel to save himself, his family, and two of every living creature. The ark's dimensions, 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high, make it a truly colossal structure. While cubits varied in length, the ark was roughly 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high, the size of a large modern-day ship. This exacting description is enough to make anyone think, could such a vessel have truly existed? The narrative is deeply significant to religious teachings, representing themes of salvation, faith, and divine intervention. Yet it remains a subject of debate. Was the flood a local event or a global catastrophe? And most intriguingly, where did the ark end up? For centuries, theologians, archaeologists, and historians have tried to answer these questions, yet the truth remains as elusive as the ark itself. The Durupinar Formation. One of the most famous claims linking Noah's Ark to a real-world discovery is the Durupinar Formation, located near the mountains of Ararat in eastern Turkey. In 1948, a Kurdish farmer stumbled upon a peculiar boat-shaped formation in the mountains, leading many to speculate that it could be the resting place of Noah's Ark. In the 1980s, Ron Wyatt, a controversial explorer, promoted the idea that this site matched the biblical description of the ark. He argued that the boat-shaped structure, which measures about 450 feet in length, roughly the size specified in the Bible, could be the remnants of the great vessel. Aerial photographs and satellite images showed a formation resembling a large boat, drawing further attention to the site. However, geologists and archaeologists have raised doubts about the formation's authenticity. Some believe it's simply a natural geological structure, not man-made, while others have argued that the site's age and geological makeup don't match the timeline of Noah's flood. Despite the mystery surrounding the Durupinar Formation, its discovery is just one chapter in a much broader conversation about the search for Noah's Ark, a topic that continues to fascinate scholars and adventurers to this day. Mount Ararat. The mountains of Ararat, located in modern-day Turkey, have long been identified as the final resting place of Noah's Ark, according to the Bible. The connection between Ararat and the Ark comes from the closing verses of Genesis, where it states that the Ark rested upon the mountains of Ararat after the floodwaters receded. Over the centuries, countless explorers and adventurers have attempted to reach the summit of Mount Ararat in search of the Ark's remains. One of the most well-known expeditions was led by James Irwin, an Apollo 15 astronaut, who joined an expedition to Ararat in 1984. Although Irwin found evidence of ancient structures at high altitudes, no definitive proof of the Ark was found. Moreover, Mount Ararat is an active volcanic mountain, which has made the search even more challenging. The difficulty of the terrain, coupled with political and religious tensions in the region, has hindered many attempts. While some claim to have seen remnants of the Ark, the lack of physical evidence has left the Mount Ararat theory more speculative than factual. The mountain continues to hold a magnetic pull for explorers, but it's important to remember that the Ark's location, if it ever existed, remains a mystery shrouded in legend and myth. The search for ancient floods. Flood myths are not unique to the Bible. In fact, many ancient cultures have their own versions of a great flood. The Epic of Gilgamesh, a Mesopotamian story that predates the biblical flood by several centuries, describes a similar tale of a hero building a boat to survive a deluge. The similarities between these flood myths have led some to propose that they are rooted in actual historical events, natural disasters that impacted ancient civilizations. One of the most well-known scientific theories surrounding the biblical flood is the Black Sea deluge hypothesis. This theory suggests that around 7,500 years ago, rising sea levels caused by the melting of glaciers inundated the region surrounding the Black Sea, creating a catastrophic flood that could have been the inspiration for flood myths. Evidence from the sea floor shows submerged villages and artifacts, which point to a sudden rise in water levels. Similarly, some scholars believe the ancient Tigris-Euphrates floodplains may have experienced catastrophic floods, further feeding into the flood narrative found in the Bible and other ancient texts. Cultural impact. The tale of Noah's Ark is not just a religious or historical story, it is a cornerstone of art, literature, and popular culture. From ancient times to the present day, the Ark has inspired countless works of art, from Renaissance paintings to modern movie adaptations. The famous painting, The Flood, by Jacob Jordaens from the 17th century, depicts the dramatic moment of the floodwaters overtaking the earth, with Noah's Ark floating above the chaos. The symbolism of the Ark, as a vessel of salvation, is explored in literature, representing the idea of refuge, hope, and new beginnings. More recently, the 2014 movie Noah, directed by Darren Aronofsky and starring Russell Crowe, brought a modern twist to the biblical tale, sparking both controversy and fascination. These cultural portrayals often depict the Ark as a grand, towering structure, emphasizing its size and the survival of life. But what about the Ark in the real world? The famous Ark encounter in Williamstown, Kentucky, opened in 2016 and features a full-scale replica of Noah's Ark, standing 510 feet long, almost the exact dimensions described in the Bible. Noah's Ark, symbol of faith and survival. For many people, Noah's Ark isn't just a story of survival, it's a story of faith, obedience, and hope. The Ark is a symbol of salvation in the face of disaster, a representation of God's mercy in the midst of destruction. When Noah built the Ark, he did so in complete obedience to God's command, even though there was no evidence to suggest that a flood was coming. This act of faith is central to the religious interpretation of the Ark. For millions, Noah's Ark remains a powerful symbol of divine promise, especially through the rainbow, a sign of God's covenant with humanity, promising never again to destroy the world by flood. In modern times, the Ark continues to resonate as a metaphor for renewal and resilience. Many people find in the story a message of hope during challenging times, believing that salvation can come even in the most dire circumstances. Whether in faith, culture, or science, Noah's Ark is a legacy that continues to teach us lessons about the human spirit, survival, and the power of belief. And that's the story of Noah's Ark. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating video. Drop a comment below with your thoughts. Do you think the Ark was real? Let us know. Until next time, stay curious.